I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big fat black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names? These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it.
Monique tells it for real. She addresses all her sweet babies that treated her sour. Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. Shannon Sharpe dropped another heavy-hitting interview on his popular podcast, Club Shay Shay. This time, it featured the Oscar and Golden Globe Award-winning actress, Monique. Just like Cat Williams, the veteran comedian also shared some jaw-dropping stories about her esteemed colleagues in the industry. Some that we've heard before, and some that we haven't. My name is Lady Sola, and I'm going to be breaking down the highlights of this interview and everyone that Monique called out or spoke about. So don't forget to like this video, and if it's your first time stopping by, thank you. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I promise that it'll be worth your while and you'll have no regrets. All right, let's get down to it. One thing about Monique is she is always gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. And she stays with receipts. For over a decade, Monique has never, and I mean ever, shied away from addressing her grievances about being lowballed or blackballed after winning 2 of the most prestigious and coveted awards in entertainment.
First, I would like to thank the Academy for showing that it can be about the performance and not the politics.
Simply put, she's not the 1, the 2, or the 3. And that's what I love and respect about her. On several occasions, Monique has spoken out publicly on who she has gripes with, what it stems from, why she's frustrated, and how it can be resolved. At no point in time has any individual, or as she would say, my brothers and sisters, publicly or privately responded to Monique. Well, except for one, and that would be her comedian friend turned foe, Mr. Daryl Lynn Hughley. Monique said until DL takes accountability for an incident that occurred while she was a guest on his radio show, she will not forgive him.
I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
DL Hughley is not there. His team is there. And Shannon, we having a great time. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. I called DL Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby, yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like stupid. Like asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens, and his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is.
She then goes on to tell a story about the time DL claimed he was the headliner, quote unquote, for a comedy show in Detroit that Monique was actually the legitimate headliner for. Check this out.
Now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. D.L. Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
I signed a contract.
You see how you say that? Like anybody that knows good business, you sign. The memo is saying this is what I would like,
Right.
but the contract is saying this is what it is.
DL took to Instagram and went on a rant calling her a liar, exposing her family issues, and he also claimed that her Netflix special was trash. Oh boy, oh boy.
Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't, because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. Allegedly, it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that, because Monique is a liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies are with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. Know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. If she'd have spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
Damn. Just hearing DL say all that stuff with so much hatred and vitriol, you know, it's kind of easy to believe Monique when she said he's been talking bad about her over the years. My goodness. You ain't have to say, put the captain in front of the crunch now. Damn, DL, you out of pocket. Another gentleman that talked bad about her behind the scenes would be none other than the self-made billionaire, Tyler Perry. Years after Monique declined to join the Precious movie promo run without being compensated, Tyler admitted directly to Monique that he told several people in the industry that she's difficult to work with.
He did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied, only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong, and when my movie Boo come out, I'm gonna say that.
As the responsible receipt keeper that Monique is, she got it all on tape. Check it out.
So now here comes the blackball.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
When we find out that Tyler Perry has actually told another director named David Talbert how difficult I was to work with, and David Talbert told Tyler Perry, he said Monique was a joy. Like, I didn't have any problem. Yeah, well, she was really difficult to work with when we worked with her. Well, Tyler Perry, you never worked with me. Tyler Perry called my husband and I.
Yes.
And we recorded that conversation. And Tyler Perry in that conversation says, what I did to you was wrong.
I said to you earlier, Sadiq, that wouldn't be fair. I wouldn't think that was fair.
But what would you want to be done, sir?
How would you want it fixed, Tyler?
How would you want that fixed?
How would I want what fixed?
Let me tell you.
The reputation, how would I want that fixed?
Let me tell you.
What exactly are you asking?
Let me tell you. So that, because, and my husband is that part of our team that he has the business conversations. I'm the part of the team that you saw May 13th on the stage. So what I would ask you is, because you're talking in Tyler Perry language, I would ask you to let Monique talk to Madea. Because when you start talking in Tyler Perry language, brother, you talk like you don't get it. So what I'm saying to you is, Madea, make Tyler's ass step his ass up. I'm talking to Madea right now. Madea, I need you to pull Tyler's ass in the back and say, baby, you watching this sister and you watching her family starve. You're watching it. And you're saying, what do you want me to do? Listen, don't you play with that baby like that. You know the shit y'all did was wrong to her. You gave them $400,000 to $500,000 to charity, and you know that bitch got $50,000. Where's my pistol, Brown? Where's my pistol?
This is Tyler Perry talking. I'm going to call and find out whatever money is coming in for the Precious, and I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it over to you. Whatever it is, I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to write you a check, Monique, seriously, because, no, hear me, because this is the thing about this is, and when we start talking about this one doing this and this one doing that, and black people doing this and black people doing that, what we need to understand about that is this. Where we are right now and what we're trying to do, we got some opportunities that a lot of most people didn't have. So what I don't want you to feel one day, not one day, is that you were mistreated or that you were treated unfairly. Now, if that means that I that's what I need to do, then you do that. You do that. You take that and take it from a place of love.
Let me tell you where I'm going to take it from. I'm going to take it from it's business. And I'm going to take it from my brother saying, listen, yo, this is what y'all was supposed to get.
Did you not just say it was wrong, Tyler? To say she was difficult for not doing something that she was not contractually obligated to do? Did you not say that you would feel that that was wrong?
I absolutely said that, yes.
It is truly disappointing that Tyler Perry, a man who is considered an inspiration to so many within the Black community, would do something grimy like this, knowing the impact it would have on Monique's career. I can't look at him the same after that, especially after hearing that recorded phone call and hearing the proof, hearing directly from his mouth that he had a hand in her being blackballed and really changing the trajectory of her career and the success that was supposed to follow after winning an Academy Award. Like, how does your career take a nosedive when you have literally won the biggest award in this field? Like, that is insane to me. Anyways, like I mentioned earlier, Monique doesn't present an issue without giving a solution. And in this case, she tells exactly how Tyler Perry can make this right.
Mo, what would it take for Monique to forgive Oprah and Tyler Perry?
Be accountable. Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Over a lie and a rumor?
And you want to be compensated?
Yes, I want to be very clear about that. If someone cost you millions, do you want that back?
Absolutely.
So I'm no different than you.
Right.
Especially when I've done nothing wrong.
Right.
Especially when you've admitted that you've lied.
Okay.
Especially when you've admitted that you started a rumor. Yes, you need to compensate me and my family.
Now, for as long as I can remember, Monique has kept Oprah's name in her mouth and her foot on her neck when it comes to getting blackballed in Hollywood, child. But in this interview, she revealed some new information about how Oprah conveniently took movie roles that were offered to Monique first, interviewed her mother behind her back, and much more. Take a listen.
I speak about that woman because she's spoken about me. And when you begin to speak about me privately, I'm going to speak about you publicly. You've been unfair. You've been unjust. And you watched a Black woman be thrown under the bus. The movie The Butler, that movie was offered to me. Lee Daniels came out and said, I did offer Monique The Butler. But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So who played the lead role in The Butler? Oprah Winfrey. Lee Daniels was getting ready to do a biopic on Richard Pryor, and he offered me the grandmother. Who then calls Lee Daniels and says, I want to be the grandmother? Oprah Winfrey. As you're looking at me, it's the same way I'm looking at that sister. And I'm saying, why don't we sit down and have a conversation? Because the way things could look, it may not be that way, but just the way things look, Oprah. Just the way you would have my family on your show, Oprah. This woman has overstepped with me in so many ways that somebody would say, If we wasn't Monique and Oprah Winfrey in the entertainment business, and we was Monique and Oprah Winfrey that worked at Costco, I see you in the break room. When Oprah Winfrey called me up, and she said, I got a call from your brother. And this is after I won the Oscar award, right? And your brother wants to come on the show, and he wants to apologize to you for molesting you. And he wants to tell other people how to look out for a predator.
Right.
I said, Oprah, I said, I don't want anything to do with that cat. And then she said, well, if you want me to scratch the show, I will scratch it. I said, sis, don't scratch it because he could be a different person. And I don't want to get in the way if that cat is a different person. I just don't want no parts of it.
Right.
I start seeing commercials with my mother and my father. We never talked about my mother being there. And when my mother was on that show, do you know what I had to deal with, Shannon?
What's that?
I would be in the store and I would have elderly women coming up to me and they would say, your mama ain't shit. Had Oprah Winfrey said, I'ma have your mama, I'd have said, shut it down. For Oprah Winfrey, you owe me an apology.
Monique, who was only paid $50,000 for her Academy Award-winning role in Precious, was very vocal about the obvious pay disparity for many years. The public never expressed sympathy, but when Taraji P. Henson spoke out about the exact same thing, many showered her with support. Now, I love Taraji. I do. She is one of my favorite actresses. Oh my goodness. And I'm really happy that people were receptive to what she has been experiencing, that people tuned in and paid attention to what she was saying and how she was crying out. She was crying out for help. She was crying out in frustration. And I'm really glad to see that people did take that seriously and didn't just try to silence her or try to make a joke a bit or try to brush it off. However, I couldn't help but think how interesting it is that when Monique spoke about it, many wanted her to stop complaining. Many were not interested in hearing what she had to say. Many seemed annoyed and irritated, turned off. They trolled her for it. Like, it was just like a totally different reaction. I mean, you would think that they are talking about apples and oranges when they clearly are both talking about apples. Clearly. Found that very interesting. In this next clip, Monique explains why she feels she didn't receive the same support that Taraji did. Let's take a listen.
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big fat black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names? These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it. And if I don't say it out loud, now you see a woman that is swallowing that pain, that is so stressed out. Then you see our sister Taraji P. Henson sit on that platform. And I love that baby because she's a beautiful spirit. But to see her that broken, what our community was saying was, we have a hard time seeing a strong black woman with her back straight and a chin up and a strong black man standing by her side. We have a hard time accepting that. But we can accept seeing a black woman broken. Now it's really serious because she's falling apart. Our community had a hard time with those two things. And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a black man would stand with his black woman. So they didn't want to hear me, some of them, because of what I look like, because I spoke about their heroes, and because they saw that man standing right there strong.
Ahead of the Christmas release of The Color Purple in 2023, Taraji breaks down over the continued pay disparity that she experiences movie role after movie role after movie role.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathin'. And when you start working a lot, you know, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, there's a whole entire team behind us. They have to get paid. It seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again like I never did what I just did, and I'm just tired. I'm tired. It wears on you, you know? Because what does that mean? What is that telling me? They play in your face. Like, enough is enough.
Monique gives her reaction and talked about a conversation that she had with Taraji back in the day about this same issue.
When I saw Taraji broken on those platforms, it was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you know, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get him the next time. We'll get him the next time. We'll get him the next time. And the next time never comes.
Monique then points a finger to Oprah and the part that she plays in the unfair pay and treatment of Black actresses.
When I watched my sister say it was an honor to be handpicked.
Right.
How are you handpicked in your audition? And the moment, in my opinion, the moment she auditioned, they knew we got him. We can treat him any kind of way we want to treat him. We can do him any kind of way.
But why would you want to?
Why?
Just because you can, that doesn't mean you should.
But they did. But they did. How do you handpick me and then mistreat me?
Yes.
And then I gotta send a letter to you about the mistreatment that you gave me.
The more stories that I hear celebrities tell about Kevin Hart, the more I just shake my head. There are so many examples of Kevin portraying himself as a lying, selfish, cheating, shady, phony little man that will do or say whatever to either get his way or get ahead. Monique can be added to the long list of people that have shared a story about Kevin Hart that sheds light on who the comedian turned actor really is. Let's take a listen.
When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, here you go. We're forever grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top, because I don't ever want nobody to think
Feel like they
me and my
gave
husband. So I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out. Then when he came back with, I got you. I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, I'll executive produce, I'll partner with you. I said, good shit, Kevin, because we're in a deal with Endemol. And we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you. Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world,
Correct.
right? And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive use. They was like, oh, this is incredible, because when you put Kevin Hart's name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky. And Dave Becky said, Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Monique. I called Kevin Hart immediately. I said, hey, baby, we just got off the phone with Endemol, and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, you don't want anything to do with me. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication. I can tell you right now. I said, wait a minute. Are you okay, though, with this white man calling them up? Getting in between our relationship at something you said. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication, and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again.
I've realized and have to accept that while Kevin's stature is very small, his true character is even smaller. His actions behind closed doors do not match his public persona, and he's been getting exposed left and right. What you got to say to this, Kevin? I'll tell you, not a damn thing. While Kevin has been on mute regarding the story, Monique read Tiffany Haddish down to the ground about comments that she made about her husband in the 2018 GQ article. Let's see what Monique had to say.
I remember our beautiful sister Tiffany Haddish did an interview with GQ magazine, and the conversation turned to Monique. And she said, well, I don't do business like Monique do business, and I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers. Tiffany, if you had a husband like mine, you may not have 2 DUIs. If you had a husband like mine, you may not be caught up in what looks like you could have been grooming a child. And I say all of that with no judgment. But when you speak about having a husband like mine, you open up the door. And I'm saying to you, if you had one like mine, you may not sit in these positions that you can't explain the next day.
Right. She doesn't even have a husband, let alone like yours.
Well, damn it, now you said it. I sipped on that, Shannon. That was a sip. That required a sip.
Entertainment Tonight recently caught up with Tiffany during Super Bowl weekend, and in response to Monique, she said, I am grateful and thankful that I am on the minds of people that I look up to. She's not my friend, so I get it, you know. I'm not close to her. We never had a conversation about that, so at the end of the day, I understand and I respect her. Tiffany decided to take the high road and took no jabs at Monique, which I think was a smart move. I do, because there really is nothing she could say. Especially since she spoke ill of Monique first. Like she took the first shot many years ago, you know what I mean? And it was unprovoked, you know, it was insensitive. Instead of her kind of like being a support system, or at least publicly supporting Monique during a time where Monique was going through it. She was not making money the way she used to. Everybody turned their back on her. She kind of was like the black sheep. And then on top of it, she, you know, decides to sue Netflix. So there was a lot going on at this time. And I think as a female comedian, like, why would you go on an interview? And I don't know. I just feel like if you didn't have nothing good to say, you could have kept it PG, you know? She got what was coming to her. Oh my gosh. Monique got her all the way together. After being blackballed for almost 10 years, Monique would make major headlines again in 2018 when she shared that she was offered a mere $500,000 to host a Netflix comedy special. She issued a call to action for the Black community to boycott Netflix. Charlemagne the God then gave Monique Donkey of the Day for her request. Take a listen.
Donkey of the Day for Monday, January 22nd goes to the legendary Monique. She is a legend. We're not going to take that away from her. Drop on the clues bombs for Monique, okay? Now, if you haven't heard, Monique is calling for a boycott of Netflix, claiming race and gender bias because she was offered $500,000 to do a comedy special, and she feels like that was too low. I don't understand how she's claiming race and gender bias when Chappelle and Rock, 2 black people, both got paid. And Amy Schumer is a woman. She got paid. Maybe she needs to be more specific and say bias against black women. This is a what are you doing for me right now kind of industry. I'm not about to give you millions of dollars based off an old resume.
I am the most decorated comedian alive.
Monique, if you said that in the Netflix offices, I'm shocked the executives didn't die of laughter. So if Monique feels Netflix lowballed her, cool. Simply take your talent somewhere else and prove them wrong by getting what you feel you're worth. Please give Monique the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons, please.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the
later, Monique pulled up to the station with her reading glasses because she came to read, of course. But first, she needed to hear straight from the horse's mouth on why she was given the donkey of the day. After Charlamagne gave his reasons, she tore his ass up. Listen to this.
And what happens is when you're basing off of what you're assuming, and then you give me a title of Donkey of the Day. Is your mother still alive?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're from what city in South Carolina?
Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
Moncks Corner. And if I was to call your mother or your grandmother, could they tell me stories of inequality that they had to deal with?
Absolutely.
So would your mother be a donkey?
No.
Would your grandmother be a donkey?
No.
I need you to explain how you gave me the title because you're not explaining it. You're going off of what I assume. But because you're on that microphone, and when we open up these microphones, we know just how powerful our voices can be, don't we, Angela?
Yes, we do.
And we know that what we say can become law. Correct, Lenore?
Absolutely.
So when we do that, we must then explain it to our community because we know how poisonous it can be when we put things out, but we can't back it up. We just say it.
After the Club Shay Shay interview, Charlamagne finally came to his senses and issued Monique a public apology on the air. And he even went as far as to give himself the donkey of the day. Talk about a full circle moment.
Netflix ultimately ended up taking back their offer, and then in 2019, Monique sued Netflix for failing to negotiate in good faith. The federal judge in the case sided with Monique, and in 2022, the lawsuit was settled out of court. Dropping the clues bombs for Monique, okay? Here's the thing. I've said this before, and I've said it a few times on this radio. When it comes to that point, Monique was right. I should have minded my black-owned business, okay? And she's right when she speaks on the power of the microphone because people from Netflix were definitely reaching out to me behind the scenes, and they tried to explain why Monique didn't get the money that Amy, Dave, and Chris got. Doesn't matter what the conversation consisted of. Just know, as I just said, Monique sued them, and they settled. So there clearly was some validity to the injustice that she spoke of. Monique, you were right. Okay, I've said that before on this radio, and I'll say it again so you hear me. I had no business speaking on your business, okay? There's absolutely a pay discrepancy for black women. Black women are typically paid only 67 cents for every dollar paid to white men, and the wage gap actually widens to 65 cents on the dollar for black women who hold doctorate degrees compared to white men with the same education, okay? Not to mention, all the proof is in the pudding. When you see a company as big as Netflix with all the money Netflix has, they could have dragged this out, okay? They settled with Monique, okay? And still put out a Monique comedy special, all right? We've heard Taraji come out and complain about the pay discrepancy in Hollywood. Look, we can have a million conversations as to why that is, what that is. The moral of the story is too many black women out here with the same story, okay? Monique, God bless you, sister. And if you have never heard me say this before, or if I've never said it because I was born in 1978 and my memory is not what it used to be, I apologize for being wrong, okay?
Say it again.
Man, shut up.
No, seriously, your kneecap.
I am.
You need to go ahead. Yeah.
Say it again.
Could y'all stop?
Say it
Give me a
clearly.
moment.
That's
all
crazy.
right?
Say it
I
clearly.
apologize, Monique, for giving you donkey of the day because once again, regardless of how I felt about the situation with you and Netflix, I had no business in your business and broadcasting your business, and it was Envy's idea to open the phone lines for people to comment on your business. Wasn't mine, okay? But I truly, were you gonna apologize?
I apologize, Monique.
Okay.
And I think you should apologize to her husband as well.
What do you got to do with this?
Because it was both of them. Both of them was doing this, and both of them felt disrespected. That's her manager. You
He
should
wasn't
apologize.
here?
He was here. He was outside. You should apologize
He's
to her husband
always
as well.
around. That's the
all.
thing. He's always here.
He was.
He called?
He called in. Yeah, apologize to the husband too.
Well, apologize to her husband. I apologize to her husband, Sydney, right? That's his name?
Sydney.
Yes.
I truly, truly, truly pray this apology is received by you, Monique, and I hope you heal because I feel like when I hear somebody talking about something for a long period of time, that means they have been holding on to it and it's bothering them in some way. And as a therapist once told me, if you don't want your peace disturbed, don't disturb the peace of others. I clearly disturbed your peace. I heard Donkey of the Day mentioned in the intro to your Netflix special. I heard you talk about Donkey of the Day on Club Shay Shay. Monique, I apologize. I want peace. I want us to heal whatever this is. I want that for everybody you mentioned in the Club Shay Shay interview. I truly pray for peace and healing for us all. Monique, I want that for you. I want that for me because I love us for real. Please give Charlamagne the God, a.k.a. the breakfast snub, the biggest hee-haw.
Absolutely.
That was a great apology. Bravo. You did good, Leonard. I mean, Leonard. Oh, in closing, I want to say that it was beautiful to see how Monique gave Cat Williams his flowers and showed him so much love and appreciation throughout this interview. I just love that Cat is the gift that keeps on giving. I have a feeling that it's going to be like this all 2024, and I'm here for it. Monique came to Club Shay Shay to sit on that couch, roll up her sleeves, and lay everything out on the table, loud, proud, and clear. And that's exactly what she did. Way to go, Mo. Way to go. Well. That is everything that I wanted to cover from Monique's viral Club Shay Shay interview. What did you think of the interview? What do you think of Monique speaking out over the years about pay inequality, getting blackballed, and now being vindicated for standing up and speaking the truth? Leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate you checking this video out. This is Lady Sola. Thank you for tuning in.